So let's go to partial show read. First thing we have to do for that is, it's in the backup menu, and there's a two-step process to this, and you'll see the second step here is grayed out. So let's just go ahead and try to partial show read initialize. So this is kind of like unzipping the show file. So you're going to want to do that and select your file that you've been working on in this class and click load. Now the first screen that's going to pop up is our prepare window. And what this is showing is on the left side is the patch for my current show file, which is that new CP1 that I am working in. The right side is the patch from the show file I'm reading from. So this would give me the opportunity to compare to see if I'm stepping on fixture number somewhere. I could pull in only certain fixtures into this patch if I'm still using some of the same ones. Or I could pull in the entire patch if I'm still using the exact same plot. So I would just want to select which ones I'm going to use. We're not going to pull anything in necessarily right now because we want to see what it looks like without. But again, left side is current patch, right side is patch that I could pull into the show. And to pull stuff in, all I would say is click on the ones that I want over here. So I could either select all by clicking the header up here, or I could click individual ones. You can use control and holding control and clicking to select multiple ones. And then if I was to say use other, those would turn green. So it's telling me I'm about to pull those in. If I want to use mine, I click use mine, which will pull from this side, which would be nothing. Okay. Also, we can pull in stages and 3D positions through this method too. That's what we did in the first lab when we pulled in the stage file that I gave you. So you can choose either to use my 3D position and my stage, or use the other files stage and 3D position. For our cases right now, we're just going to use mine for all of our stuff. Once you completed that, you would come down here to click the prepare window, which would go ahead and send that patch that you selected into the show file. And it is also unzipping all of the other objects like groups and presets so that we could go in the next step to select which ones of those we want to pull in as well. And we'll see that. All right, so that's done. You'll notice we're still in the CP1 show file, which is our new one, which is what we wanted. We decided not to pull in any patch information, so it's still empty. But what happened is we did pull in our windows. So we pulled in all these window layouts that we had blank before because we're in a partial show read situation right now. Okay. My layout view is still blank because I don't have any layouts that I've pulled in yet, or fixtures patch, so that would be not usable anyway. But we did pull in the basic pool setups that we had stored for views. Now the second step is you go back to the backup menu and you would do this second step, but you'll notice it's still grayed out. Even though I initialized, I still have it grayed out. That's because to actually perform the second step, you cannot be in a session. You have to leave the session. So we'll go to the setup tab, to our MA network control. You'll see I'm in a session. I'm gonna leave the session. So now I'm in standalone. So we're gonna repeat that initialize process now that we're not in a session. So select your file, hit load. It'll bring us to the same window. We're still gonna use all of our stuff in this current show file, which is blank, and hit prepare. All right, so now, since I've initialized without being in a session, this second step here, partial show read, is eligible to be used. So I'm gonna click that. And this is where we would pull in objects from our show files. So you could pull in macros, presets, groups, effects, sequences, executor pages, and layouts. If you see that they're green, that means that I haven't pulled those in yet. There are some things I could pull in. So let's go ahead and go to our macros pool. Again, this is like a hierarchy tree. So you'll have to actually open up these different menus by clicking the plus in the square over here. And then clicking on the actual pool itself, it brings up a similar window to the first view we had with two different sides. So this is again showing me what current macros I have in my current show file that I'm working on, CP1, and the macros that exist in the other show file, which is my ALT file that we've been working on that we're partial show reading from. And I see my even and odd macro there. I want to select all of them, which we're going to do. Double click on the name column and we get both of those in green. I simply go down here once they're green to add selected items. And it's turned gray here, meaning that I've pulled in everything I can from this pool. If it's red, it means that I will have some conflicts here. In this case, I do have a form in my show file that's different than everyone else's. So red just means watch out when you're pulling these things in, they might collide with each other because they're still comparing them by number. So if I have things already in my show file, which I do, for some of these forms, they're going to be in that position. So if I had forms over here in 1 through 10 in my other show file I'm trying to pull from, it's actually going to collide and it's going to overwrite my existing ones if I try to pull those in. So I would want to go and move those to a different number slot in this file before I pull them in. We don't want our numbers to collide. Let's go to our presets pool, then open up the preset pools. And these are the preset pools I can pull from that I have stuff in. We're going to pull in our color presets. So click that one. Grab all those, add selected items. I'm going to pull in my effects. So you're going to open up the effects pool here. Go ahead and select all those. Add selected items. So we pulled in our macros, our colors, and our effects. When we're done, we're going to close that window. And if we come back here, I can look and see, oh, my color preset pool now has those presets that I had. They're grayed out because they're empty, basically, because I don't have a patch. But I could go select the fixtures once I patch them and store them back in here. They're still going to be laid out the same way and named. So I'm skipping a couple steps there. You still do have to do some work, but I'm skipping some steps just to save me some time. My effects are in here already, so I'm good there. So that's just a demonstration on different ways to start new show files and ways to pull parts from other shows into the one you're trying to work on, just to save you some time and effort. Because we don't always have time in this business, so every second we can save is helpful.